Vegito! Let me show you how far more you can go.
Alright, in this one, I will be updating my top 10 tier list in Dragon Ball Legends with the brand new LF Perfect Cell and the new Super Saiyan Gohan. Both of them are pretty solid units, especially the Cell. He's definitely making the list, definitely fluctuating kind of how units are going to be ranking this season. And if you guys don't know how I do these lists, it's 2 days into the brand new unit, so this is just my initial opinionative take. And it's where I do believe I have used the unit quite a bit. We're top 50 right now, and I've run, Cell on numerous comps and setups. I do believe he fits like a very fantastic role on certain teams. He's definitely reviving, or not even reviving, but giving value to certain teams like androids, regeneration. He's giving some certain value to, and so on, right? But my rankings are going to be based off meta, individual, color, team dynamics, pretty much an overall sense. If you guys didn't already know, that's how I do my list, not just this unit flat out better than this unit. But obviously, before we jump in, make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, because I do upload here every single day with Legends content. And I'm just going to jump into it. I'm going to start out from number 10 all the way to 1, and then I'll go through 11 through 15 to give like an honorable mentions of units that are close to the top 10. There are, it's a very diverse meta. It's been diverse for a little while now, so there are a bunch of solid options, teams, and usable units in top-ranked PvP. But yeah, obviously the top 5 and to 10 is what you're going to be seeing the flat-out most in ranked, because these are literally the best comps, the best teams, best put-together units, right? Like the units that partner up the best. At number 10... I think it gets harder the lower you go. So to start out, it's going to be a little bit kind of raw. I actually did make an initial list that I uploaded right before I started recording here. Did give me kind of an idea of things that I wanted to swap and interchange, right? A lot of things can low-key be interchanged depending on preference and stuff like that. But there's a lot of things that are just flat out, they're obvious, like this unit's better right now because of this reason, X, Y, and Z, right? At number 10, I'm going to put the Gamas at a number 10 position. I think they deserve higher individually. I know you might think that they deserve higher right now or less or whatever the case. In my personal opinion, being a yellow unit is tough in ranked PvP right now. I think individually this unit is phenomenal and could see a lot higher value if UVB lowered in value at some point in the near future, which he probably will not. Unless we get like a hard meta counter with this next Ultra or next whatever, realistically, right? We just got LF Perfect Cell. He fits perfectly, pun intended, with UVB, right? Like he fits a lot of units you can be ran with UVB. Not only that, you could just throw UVB on leader slot on numerous setups. Yellow units are not safe. Obviously, Gamas do go type neutral in a lot of instances. They have the, when they swap, they go type neutral for a couple of counts. I believe it's like 5 counts or less. And they do have cover null. They have a lot of solid mechanics. They have the core breaker mode, where there's just pretty much the AoE final attack with Gamma 2. And they deal a lot of solid damage. They're limited on teams. Honestly, you're going to be running them on androids primarily now with Cell. So I do see, you could argue that they're number 9, number 10, something like that. I still would put them at a 10th placement solely because of color. Even the unit that I'm about to put above the Gamas, you're going to see for a second here. But yellow units are really just down that bad, I think. If you're caught once pretty much with the Gamas, you're going to be dying. Like, the Gamas will just die. Like, they will literally just die. It's not even like a star thing or anything like that. A low star UVB is going to cook your Gamas or your Kid Buu or your Jiren or any yellow unit in the game. Obviously, there's a lot of purples running around right now. So, Cell, Goku and Frieza, you got UI Goku, you got Gogeta Blue, you got a couple of purples to work with as well, but you're literally seeing, UVB also every single game. So it's kind of like a dual edge. If you have your yellow at a perfect time, yellows are not completely useless, but they're very vulnerable, and if you get caught, like, in a certain instance, you're literally just going to have your unit, I was looking for a very powerful word there, decapitated, death, like, they're just dead, right? But yeah, moving into the next one here, I am going to put Ultra Hit. Even though you don't see this guy too much right now because you have UVB in the game, it does not lessen his value, if that makes any sense. He still fits on one of the best teams in the game, if not the best team. is Universe Rep, in my opinion. Universe Rep comps with Go Frieza. Throw him with 17. Throw him with any Universe Rep character. Kawaii. Pretty much anything, right? Throw him on leader slots. His just individual kit as well, having the time skip mechanic, easy cover nullification, solid damage, late game action, healing, defensive prowess, team options, right? Red, purple if you're throwing him with UVB and Go Frieza. That's a solid comp. And yeah, I mean, there's not too many yellows to worry about because they're all afraid of UVB. But, you know, it's another reason why yellows are kind of down bad. Like, there's just reds are on demon mode. I mean, specifically because of UVB. But I do think hit is, you know, and these things can all, I don't want to say be interchanged because Gamas have a lot of value with Cell right now. So, like, you could say this, and I could see this. And I could definitely see this. It's just UVB is literally too powerful, man. It's like, I want to put the Gamas higher because individually, and, like, you're probably going to be running into them more often because of Cell. It's just, they get hit really hard, man. The Gamas get hit really hard. You know what? I'm bitching about yellows right now. I am bitching about yellows, bro. I'm going to throw the Gamas up because team comp-wise, I'm just going to be real. Cell probably fits with them the best. Like, they have, like, a really solid comp with stuff. You guys have not tried this build yet. This setup right here, or, like, something similar to this. You know, you have MVP 17 as a cover option. You know, if you have UVB in the field, MVP is going to cover you. You know, he's going to be that kind of wall to protect the Gamas there. But I guess I can give Gamas literally telling you guys why the Gamas would be top 10 because of color. I'm going to put them above. Hit is fantastic, but, yo, team-wise, I feel like even on Universe Rep, he's not used so often because UVB is in every single game, if that makes sense. So he's just like a second option now. Everyone has UVB, pretty much. If you don't have UVB, then obviously you're going to be running hits. But it's one of those things where it's like, you have one, you don't really need the other. He's fantastic, but he's not really needed. So, it's just one of those explanations. You could do this. It's like the same. It's literally interchangeable, bro. But yeah, Gamas have gained a lot of value with teams. They struggle being a yellow character that can't type swap with their tag switch, right? But jumping into number 8, like, yeah, the teams are really good right now. MVP is a top tier. You guys are, if you haven't seen my last list, I'm placing MVP in the same exact placement. We're throwing at number 8. Who do I want to throw at number 8? This is an interesting one. Who do I want to throw at number 8? I don't even know. I don't even know. Are we swapping around units? Are we throwing Goku Black at number 8? No way, dude. No way, Jose. Did I really just say no way, Jose? Number 8. UVB. We're throwing Imagine, bro. Okay, so let me go. I'm thinking, honestly, I had this guy on a top 5 placement earlier, and with, nah, I think we put bro, I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass switching up like crazy, bro. I'm dead ass switching up like crazy. I'm switching up like crazy right now, bro. I'm switching up like crazy, bro, because I think Gogeta is fantastic. He's one of the best partners you could have with UVB. They're both rush merchants. They're both, like, I feel like one does good. You know, UVB is doing really solid early game. Gogeta builds up. He does really solid late game. They do very well together. It's just, it's literally just that, like, that's the only place, like, that's the only team. He doesn't have any diversity right now. You're not running movies. Like, realistically, you're not running movies. You can be running movies. It's just not going to be in the top 10, right? Like, the other units that will be featured on movies are not top 10. So, therefore, they're not, like, one of arguably the best teams in the game. But good teams, sure. Gogeta is still fine. Anyone that's making a top 10 list is still great. I think I put him in the 5th, 6th placement on the list I was thinking of today. It's just because they partner up so well. I just didn't really think about the other team comps, like what has more value right now. A lot of future value, a lot of like the team comp for future, right? You're running sort of Hope, you're running Rosé, you're running UVB, you're running the new, if I didn't say the new Cell, you're running the new Cell. That's like, these units future has insane value right now. They're running Unirep has insane value right now. And that's pretty much the two teams that you're running into. Maybe even androids, but Fusion Warriors is like, you're having this like as a third option, depending if you value his mechanics or not. They're still extremely powerful. He has very easy cover nullification, vanish restore, blast armor, autopilot gameplay, and he can nuke. He has pretty solid options. You even throw like, run the original pan support builds. But I do agree that he's kind of like, I don't want to say falling off, but just like, if it wasn't for UVB, he'd be in a lesser spot. I'm in one of those positions to place him. And Rosé in a very, very close ranking, right? I was actually originally like, I'd just Gogeta. More value right now. You're just too many purples running around. Too many purples. But there's so many blues. And Future's a better setup. So why is Gogeta above Rosé? I don't know. I'm throwing Rosé above Gogeta. Right now, I mean, it was like interchanging between the lists, like from, my past couple of lists. They were going back and forth with it. Rosé took the lead when he did drop, but then he took steps back. It's just so many purples, bro. So many purples that he's just getting, go Frieza. But then again, MVP 17 exists. Sword of Hope exists. The blue side of Go Frieza exists. There's solid blues around here to stop UVB. There's solid blues to get cooked by Rosé. Like, I mean, he's the only real green that you're running into ranked PvP right now. And I do think he's a little bit, I don't want to say slept on, because people do value and recognize his individual prowess, but it's just team-wise, he is, I don't want to say core on Future either. If you're running Future, this is still arguably the best team in the game. If you guys didn't know that, so it's a sneak peek at my top right there. That's a really solid team for Cell MVP. But this team right here, this is probably better Future. This is probably the best Future comp that you can make, like pure Future without Rose. You could swap out one of the Zenkai buffs just to have the option there, but yeah, Rose has 3 ultimates. He goes type neutral, blast armor, autopilot gameplay, paralyzed on blue card, very toxic. Green card draws a blue card for the first time or 2 times. And yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say other than he's on one of the best teams in the game, and he's definitely, I don't want to say carried by that, because individually he's fine. It's just there's so many purples. I'm trying to think of the colors and the team values, because those are probably the most important things. We already know all these units individually are insane, and you could kind of place them in such fashion who has better mechanics for the given meta right now, right? If we're valuing Rising Rush, endurance nullification, right? Gogeta has that, but there's a lot of things to combat that, right? Go Frieza has anti-rush. Cell has the explode. If you're killing him, you're proccing all these mechanics. The lock. I don't even think that's how he gets the lock, but the there's a lot of shit. AoE. There's a lot of things to combat certain mechanics in the game right now, which what I was trying to get to. But going into number 6, I think I'm going to. Who am I placing here? I think I'm going to give it to UI. I think I am going to give number 6 to UI. And you guys are probably thinking like, really? Really, bro? If you guys have not been playing the previous season or whatever the case, it's just another strong purple. That's why Rosé is a really interesting spot. I'm going to give Rosé the benefit of the doubt just because he's being like core on Future, which is just the better team right now for anything you're running UVB with, Trunks, whatever. Gogeta. Right? UI Omen, he's just on the best setups on Universe Rep right now. He's partnered up with MVP 17. He's partnered up with Go Frieza. You can even have UVB partnered along this guy, but just insane stalling. The gauge is very powerful. They made his stats really good. They made his damage really good. The AoE green has always been really good. He gets cover null for whatever specific amount of counts, but he just, with the passive gameplay right now and the very careful green card counters and just plays that you want to be very careful with, he is great to just stall, have your units be able to swap in and out, and just a great third glue option for teams. If you guys don't already know how it works, like the 4 or 5 options, 4 or 5 units on the list, the top 5 units are pretty much what you want on most of your comps, maybe even the top 4 units, I'd say. As long as you have 1 or 2 of the top 4, third unit is extremely interchangeable depending on your preference, your playstyle, whether you want UI, whether you want Rose, whether you want Gogeta, whether you want etc., right? For top rank PvP, you need 1 or 2 of the top 4 to 5 characters, and everything else from UI sign, etc., right? I think UI is a very solid Zenkai. They did a really good job with, bro. And he's deserving of this placement right now. If you guys are in the top ranks, he is cookage. He's cookaging, bro. And yeah, we're going to move into the top 5 spot. I have decided to add sort of hope to my top 5 list, bro. We really betrayed Gogeta here. I'm not even going to cap, bro. I'm not even going to cap that I literally had him in my number 5, interchangeable with 6 earlier. And I really thought about it just from a team perspective and a team, you know, overall valueness. I get that Gogeta is a fantastic partner with UVB, but so are all these other units like Rose, UI, Trunks. They're literally on better comps, just as good partners with UVB, whatever. But Trunks is a great counter to UVB being blue. He's a great wall. He has the disrupt on his gauge. He is, you know, some form of rush protection with his endurance. But if you have, you know, someone's running UVB, which everyone is in every game, you just rush him and he's going to die. Unless you're running him with Go Frieza, and it does cancel that rush effect, the nullify endurance ability. So, yeah, I mean, he does get protection in that particular team comp where you're running Go Frieza on leader on future for VB and sort of hope. But yeah, team comps, he fits really well. Just damage, he's kind of insane. He's core on future. You've seen the team that he's ran with Cell, ran with all pretty much the top units in the game. And I knew he was going to jump up in value because they did so well with his update. They did so well with his Zenkai, and I think he's very deserving of a top position, just being a solid counter to the best units, or one of the best units in the game. And we'll move on to number 4. We do have... Who is number 4? Oh, yeah, the new guy. The new dude. Where is he on this list? Where is the new dude? Oh, my God, I lost him. Is he not here? Holy. He's not here, bro. Unless I'm blind. He's not here. How is he not here? Gohan's right here. He's got it. This is the updated list. Cell. Just a spoiler alert. It's Cell. He's right here. I don't know why he's all the way at the top there, but yeah, Cell is number 4 on my initial take tier list. Cell has immediately jumped up into a top 5 realm with how individually cracked he is. Like, he has some insane tech utility, and not only that, he partners up with some of the best comps teams in the game, right? He's on future, so he pairs up easily with UVB, with Trunks, with Rose. He's on Android, so he's giving value to Gamas. He's giving value to MVP 17, and you could kind of interchange, you know, those teams with like Go Frieza and whatnot, since Go Frieza is also, or MVP is also uni rep, right? There's so many different dynamics. You can build him either strike or blast. He's a blast type. He has higher strike stats. I'm almost sure he has a higher strike stat. However, he's a range type. He has a little bit more abilities catered to his blast, I do believe. So it's better blast built. However, you can build him strike, and he's going to perform just as good. Higher strike stat. He does have a double Z ability. Double offensive Z ability. I'm almost sure about that. Don't want to check. But tech-wise, he has constant cover nullification. If you keep him on the field, that gauge is, you know, just going and going and going. And there's a lot of things that can proc that gauge to fill up even faster, like his green card. I think his green card? Or his main ability definitely does it. Every time you fill the green card, you're getting your Vanish back 100%. You are getting your cover nullification for, I think, 10 to 15 counts, something like that. So it's a long combo. You're getting constant stackable card draw speed. The AoE damage on his death attack is, you know, insane because it has a multiplier. Pretty sure it has a multiplier. He does one thing about him that I have noticed is that he's decently squishy. He's decently squishy. I think it's because he has no cut pen. But he does, you know, take quite a bit of damage. However, you know, mine is 6 stars, so, like, you know, it does explain a couple of things. But I do think he's a star-dependent unit right now. He's on boost. We still rate units off boost, and just team-wise, individual-wise, he has a lot of other tech. His green card is really nice. It's comboable with pretty much everything, and he's an insane character right now. I'm trying to think of any other, like, mechanics that bro has. Like, he just has some, like, pretty crazy shit. Like, he should have been what Orange Piccolo should have been what he is, basically. Like, his gauge, he's getting all these things. He's constantly healing with every time he fills up his gauge. He's drawing cards, getting key, vanish, damage, card draw, nullify, cover. Yeah, 15 counts, cancel after downgrades. He has more ways to get card draw. Like, bro, he has insane damage on top of everything. So, like, Cell is that guy right now. I'm just vouch for it. I vouch for him. But yeah, jumping into the third unit, I'm going to throw MVP 17. I feel like Cell and MVP are pretty close, you know, into being interchangeable. However, MVP is like a necessity on certain teams. He's like that guy to wall you off of VB. He has the nullify, the ability for VB to nullify his rush. He's protected with Go Frieza. I feel like he's on a little bit more comps as well. You know, obviously he's on Unirep, he's on Androids. He fits well with UVB being on leader slots. I still think this is the best team in the game, so this is where this opinion does stem from. This just being the best team in the game. UVB, Go Frieza, or yeah, UVB pretty much on Universe Rep, right? So you can have an interchangeable option with UI, Go Frieza, and MVP 17. He provides cut penetration for the entire team, so on a setup like where Cell doesn't have any, this setup works really, really solid. It's blast based, right? You know, except UVB, but your double Zenkai buffing Cell, you have the rest of it is just blast based Z abilities. Works very, very solid. Damage, he's really good. He does go type neutral on ult after you have a dead ally. Insane utility units, right? The Cell, MVP 17 are insane utility units, and not gonna forget the constant vanish risk. Like, he gets his vanish back twice every time he re-enters the field, so he gets basically 2 vanishes. And I think that's one of the most broken abilities in the entire game. Like, having multiple like back-to-back vanishes is insane. But team-wise, individually, MVP definitely deserves it right now. He fits with all the best, you know, all the top 5 characters. He can definitely be paired up very solidly. And I think number 1 and 2, people are still debating heavily which is the better, they're equal, whatnot. I think one is just better than the other one, simply, right? I think VB is close. I just don't think he's better than Go Frieza in an overall sense. And I'm just going to say that. I think VB, why is this so low? Oh my gosh, you guys can see the list, but like, damn, this is ugly. But yeah, I think UVB is definitely close. However, he is not above Go Frieza. If you guys want to say the first 30 counts of the game, UVB is better, that's fine. But it doesn't make this unit better than this unit just from like entirety. Like, this unit is just better than this unit. For the first 30 counts, UVB starts out as a god in the game, right? He starts out as a god. You swap him in. The opponent already doesn't have his vanish. You're drawing cards. You have cover null. You just have all these things going on from you. He does have an insane broken counter ability. You know, passive gameplay is an insane. It's a very common play style right now. Unfortunately, you have things to combat against it. But he just does too much damage. His ultimate is a nuke. It does AoE. You can control how much damage it does. Autopilot, blast armor gameplay. Yeah, you name it, right? This dude literally has pretty much everything. I think the one thing he doesn't have is just a way to go, an easier way to go type neutral, right? He gets it off his counter and he gets it off Rising Rush. So if you land the rush, you can pretty much kill anybody. If you miss the rush, you have type neutral for, I believe, 10 counts. The green card as well. But a lot of units have easier methods to go type neutral. I think that's one thing that does hold him back. But it's not really much considering he still gets type neutral, right? It's just very specific. You have to land the counter or pop the rush. But yeah, for number 1 in the game, you guys already know who I'm going to say. By the way, we're still doing 11 through 15. If you guys are interested in those characters. But yeah, Go Frieza, best character in the game. Overall best character. I think they do have the most comps in the game, meaning most builds, most setups, most diversity. You can slap them on any singular team, whether it's their best universe rep. You could mix a form of future with universe rep. You can do Sun Family, you can do support setups, you can do juice setups where it's like double support pan, go free, or first form Frieza still works. I see a lot of people running Revza right now. I see people, I'm not gonna say people, I saw this one French YouTuber that I know put Revza and first form Frieza in a top 10, 15 list. They have value now. You know, LOE is definitely a runnable team, but I don't know about top 10, 15, whatever. Opinions may vary. But the fact that people can argue this because of how broken this character is, I do think UVB is better at the start of the game. But the way Go Frieza builds up after their buff, their post boost, right? Their easy vanish restore when you swap back to Frieza. They have rush protection, innate rush protection with their gauge. If you don't use it in the game, last man standing, you have the rush protection. Blast armor, lock-ins, nuking. You can build them either strike or blast. Like, they have just so much versatility. Is nuts, bro. It's nuts. I do wholeheartedly believe overall Go Frieza is the best character in the game. And it's not by like a landslide because Vegito's right there. He's close. He's close. And then everything else, I feel like there's maybe a gap between 2 and then the rest of the game. Maybe 3, 4 are pretty, like, you can get there. But top 4 characters in the game right now on my list. And then there's everything else, like when you want to have a third-party character on your teams, Trunks, UI, Rose, Gogeta, those are all interchangeable options, preference, and what you value the most. But the teams that you're going to be running into the most, I think this is my updated top 10 tier list. I am going to be putting my 11 through 15 now. Is this how it looks? Yes, it is. I'm going to put Kid Buu. Even though he's yellow, I think Regen has some more value with Cell. I think, Cell, Orange Piccolo, Blue Zamasu, Red. So I think Regen's a stacked team with colors and decent options. And individually, he deserves way higher. Just being yellow is a problem, and I can see an argument for him being top 10. It's just UVB is too powerful. Same issue that goes with the Gamas. They're insanely good right now, value-wise. They got some value with Cell. It's just Regen, it's just yellow, right? Yellow. I think Cell does have a better fit on this comp on androids over Regen, just because they have a backbone. They have MVP 17 to protect them. The blue on Regen being Blue Zamasu is like, okay, the Blue Zamasu is not that great anymore. So yeah, Pan is still fantastic, one of the best supports in the game. I'm gonna have her up here. She's still the best support. I'm gonna have Gohan up here as another pseudo solid support. I'm just gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Being like, he has a lot to him. I mean, being a green unit in this dominated purple, like super dominated by purple meta is insane. I don't know if I really want to keep him in the top 15. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He really is stacked on utility. Like, he has a ton of shit. He tanks. He goes type neutral. He does solid damage. He supports the team. Pretty much does everything, right? Beast Gohan's up here for sure. I'm going to throw Beast right behind Buu. This order, I think I'm going to take Rev UI off. I'm going to take Kawaii off. I think I want to keep Jiren in here. Something like this. Even though he's yellow, he still fits on Uni Rep, which is the best team in the game. There's a lot of purples, which means yellow gets value. However, there's one Demon Red that's running around, so it's just tough for yellows right now. So purple's definitely dominating the meta. So I want to say purple's dominating, but then again, UVB's in every single game. It's tough to see Jiren, but I don't want to put Kawaii above him. I don't think she is, especially individually. Rev UI, I just can't have him in the 15, right? They're all, what, 16, 17, 18? Yeah, we can have Kawaii there. We can have Rev UI there. We can have certain units like maybe Red Cell or Red 21 or, units like this. I'm just giving you guys my thoughts on what would come after, but I'm not making a top 20 list. This is a top 10 honorable mentions. Here it goes. This is my top list right here. If you guys want to just peep that, this is pretty much my top 10. Goes into the 15. This is what we're looking like. Let me know in the comments what you think. What are the, your opinions, ideals? Obviously, they're going to differ. I'll see you guys in the very next one. Stay frosty, and I'm out.